Home Depot Incorporated is a home improvement retailer in the USA and is headquartered in Atlanta.
Fantastic success story in the US. It hasn't really done all that much to internationalize its business model, but really these are the guys that in the 1970s invented the sort of big box home improvement DIY store that local shoppers will know from the sort of builder's warehouse type model.
Market cap $169.4 billion US dollars, a PE ratio of 24 and a dividend yield here of 2%. As Paul was saying, in the developed environments, it's more about curtains and paint and et cetera, rather than extending your home to cope with the urbanization trend as we see in emerging markets.
Yeah, I've been in a number of Home Depots in places like Texas and the like, and you know, the big ones, they're the size of maybe 10 or 12 American football fields. They're huge, and you require a buggy to actually get around the things. But as Paul says, you know, here you will find, even in a builder's warehouse, you'll find there's quite a big chunk of basic stuff like wood and cement and that sort of stuff. And yes, you'll find that to an extent there, but there you'll find more things like fully fitted kitchens, and you buy them and you get someone to come and fit it for you. This type of thing. You buy them off the shelf, and there's an awful lot of very, very high value add in a typical Home Depot. So again, as Paul says, they invented the big box approach to all of this. B&Q in the UK, home base, very, very similar type of operations as well. But this is a fantastic operation, and really, I'm a little bit surprised they haven't internationalized, as you pointed out there.
Their biggest businesses are in Canada and Mexico. You know, Canada, they got about 25 big stores, Mexico about 120. They tried to get into Europe through, I think, in fact, trying to buy B&Q in the UK, and that sort of fell apart. China, they bought in, and they didn't quite get the formula right, and then they, you know, left out again. But remember, China isn't really at that same level in terms of its housing stock. They have been successful in South America.
Can we have a look at their performance?
Yeah, there you go. Look at that.
It's a very
happy
steady
days.
upward trajectory.
Indeed, indeed. So you've done well being in this one, and fortunes have been made. You might have seen on CNBC America that guy called Ken Langone, who's like a crusty, old, very talkative guy who comes on and rants and raves about politics. He was the investment banker that, along with Bernie Marcus, started Home Depot in the 1970s. Done
Interestingly
super well.
here, Paul, you have stated that we have no exposure to any of these stocks.
In the South African market, we do have cash build, so
we
we'll
have
get
cash
to that.
build, but nothing in the international space.
Look, I love this company. I think they're doing very well. There's just one little lingering concern, and that is online. You know, I'm...
you still believe the online trends, shopping trends, are going to overtake the bricks and mortar
element? That's my concern. You know, I'm a 50-year-old male. I have bought a lot of power tools in my life. And in the old days, you felt like you had to go into the store to touch them and see which was a good one. Nowadays, you can do all the product reviews online. You can buy it on Amazon, plus it gets delivered to the house in a nice green box.
Do you think that it's a threat that needs to be taken into consideration when looking at an investment thesis around a stock like Home Depot?
It's an evolving threat. I don't see it as an incipient threat. It's something that I think a lot of these companies are managing to live with. Now, for example, if you go into something like IKEA, I was there a couple of weeks ago in the UK. That's an amazing operation. And I would say, and I agree with Paul here, it's a more pleasant experience to actually buy it online, have it delivered. But you can go there, and you're getting both sides of the coin at this point in time. And I think that will persist for quite a few years to come. In developed countries where you've got great logistical operations there, where you can get the stuff delivered timelessly, fine. In the emerging space, no. I think bricks and mortar is going to be around for a long, long time to come.
Well, so let's call this one hot or not on Home Depot.
You know, I like it a lot. I'm going to call it hot. The question is it hot enough to be put into our international portfolio? But I think it's definitely a hot stock.
Chris, hot or not?
Very, very hot.